Today, I want to talk about something that comes up quite a bit when I'm doing positive psychology coaching. People go through crisis situations. People will be talking about working on themselves, self-improvement, but something bad will happen. Something will come at them sideways. Either maybe financial issues, losing a job, maybe something even more serious like grief and loss issues that come up because someone in your family dies. Healthcare issues come up and you're just constantly worried about a child or constantly worried about a spouse. So these life transitions, it's very interesting. When we think about life, what we've been told as Americans and as good consumers of products and goods, that if we do the right thing, life will progress in a very linear way and we'll get the white picket fence and live the American dream. And we think that if we put one foot in front of the other and we follow the rules and we're good citizens, that that's where it's going to wind up. But what we really need to understand is that that's a boatload of BS. There is nothing real about the human experience in terms of it's progressive, it's linear, it's non-problematic, you can expect to be at this certain milestone at this certain age. Those were the type of things that we were told in psychology. I remember being taught that, Erikson's stages of lifespan development and so on and so forth, like as if we're climbing a ladder. If you really think about it, life is a series of 1 step forward, 2 steps back, 3 steps forward, 5 steps back. And Bruce Feiler, who wrote the book Transitions, he talks about these as disruptors and life quakes. These are things that knock you off your game. And I would suggest you check out that book Transitions because he's going to give you a bunch more information than I can in a 5-minute video, and it's worth the time because it really opened my eyes to this idea of there's no place I'm supposed to be right now. Despite what the TV commercials tell me and the Hallmark movies tell me, I'm not supposed to be in this perfect spot with my perfect family. I'm really kind of right where I would expect to be because this is wild. Most human beings, you can expect to have about 12 to 14 significant life disruptors in your lifespan. Now, if you add in your family and friends, statistically speaking, it's likely that everybody we know is going through some type of life transition or they know somebody who's going through a life transition. And the reason why that's important to talk about in a positive psychology sense or in a resilience sense is it gives you a perspective. If you are going through it right now, if you're going through a life quake or a life disruption, you're like the rest of us. It's called normalization, universality. You'll hear that phrase, misery loves company. I don't like that phrase, but there's something to it. It's this idea that we feel better if we know we're not the only ones struggling. The second thing to take away from this idea of life transitions is it can actually launch you to the next level. You can be better on the back end of a bad event. You can be better on the back end of a life transition. Now, there are certain things that you have to do, and this is kind of the takeaway for today's lesson. If you're going through a crisis, and again, let's define a crisis. It could be anything from a health issue in your family to being demoted at work to a breakup in a relationship. Even positive things can be a crisis or a life transition, moving from one state to another state, moving to a new job, even if it's a better job. This all creates the same type of experience of being unsettled. We don't like change. If you're going through that, there are a couple steps that you can take that will help you get through it and also help you grow on the back end. The first thing is accept it. Accept the reality of the situation. Don't be trying to bargain with God and don't just be trying to wait for all of a sudden that, you didn't get fired, you're going to get called back from work or everything's going to magically get better. Accept the reality of the situation. I'm in a jam, we're in a jam, and we got to find a way through it. The second step is mark it. What does mark it mean? Basically, like put a line in the sand and saying, today's the day I change. Today is the day that I accept this. Today is the day that I start moving forward toward a new attitude and outlook on this issue. Many people do that through rituals. One of the best examples are the recovery rooms whenever you start with a sobriety date. That's a perfect example of mark it. The next area is create it. Create your new reality. Create who you want to be on the other side of this crisis. You might say to yourself, okay, fine, we're going through this. I don't want to go through this. I've been bitching and moaning my way through it, so I'm stopping. I'm going to be the strongest person in the room while I'm dealing with mom's illness. I'm going to be the person that other people can lean on. Create the new you. Share it. Let people know about your new attitude and outlook on life. Many times people go through a crisis and they wind up picking a new field or a new job or they start doing something on the side. And that's a way of creating and marking and sharing a new you. Launch it. Have a start date for the new you. That is also related to market. This is the day when you're going to see a new Rich. Now, I want to let you know that the thing about these stages, these have been studied, sociologists have looked at this, but they're not linear. It's not like you do one after the other. You could find yourself in any given stage at any given time. And you sometimes have to start over the process. And then the final stage is tell it. Tell your story. Tell your new narrative. I was going through this. It was horrible. I was really down on myself. I was down on my family. I couldn't see any way out. And then this happened, and I started to make a change. I followed these steps, and this is where I am today. A story of redemption, if you will. So the assignment would be this. Again, this becomes a journaling assignment. You start to reflect on this. You use the template that we've provided around accept it, mark it, shed it, create it, share it, launch it, and tell it. But again, the truth is you can write about this however you want. And you can write about it in your own journal, but you have to identify the life quake. You have to identify the crisis, and you have to define for yourself how you're going to be different on the other side and what are the steps that you need to take to get there. I'll provide you with an example. I'll provide you with a template, and then you can take it from there. So thank you very much for joining us. Thank you for joining us today and for this whole entire series. We'll see you soon.